record. Okay, happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for hopping on. I am very excited about tonight's call, not only because we are featuring Nicole. I wish I could say she was right next to me so I could look like Vanna White, but she's not. And she is, I don't even know. Oh, she's not on yet. I don't think. So anyhow, I'm excited about that, but I'm also excited about the tips and tricks that we're going to share with you tonight. They aren't necessarily Scentsy business tips and tricks. However, they will be useful in your Scentsy business. And so it is very cool. I'm on here twice because some of the things I'm going to share my phone screen and show you exactly how to accomplish some of the things that we're talking about. So Rachel Connor, thanks for popping on. All right. Let me make sure everybody is muted. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. My microphone hasn't been acting up that badly, so this is great. I'm just waiting. Okay, Nicole. We were going to start with Nicole, but you know what? I think what we'll do, we'll end with Nicole and we'll start with our tips, tricks, and shortcuts. Before we do, I just want to say, anybody else just a little shaky about May 1st with the warmer of the month? I don't want to scare you, but if you do have any pre-orders for that, I would recommend getting up when it goes live if you will be sleeping. That's either 12 a.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Mountain, 2 a.m. Central, 3 a.m. Eastern. I don't want to scare you, but I expect it will be well sold out before you actually would wake in the morning. And so if you do have some that you need to snag for a customer, set an alarm. How are you going to place the order? Are you going to do it? Don't answer this. This is just me throwing this out there. If you are going to put that warmer, are you going to order it? Let's just say, I think Cindy said she's got 4. So I'm going to use Cindy as are you going to order all 4 as an individual order, but all on one order? Are you planning to order them 4 separately, which I don't recommend? You basically want to order them as fast as possible and get off the workstation. There won't be a queue. So it is possible. There's no queue at 3 a.m. Eastern. So if you have a ton of them and you were planning on placing a party order with them, okay, anybody planning to do that? Yes, but Cassie, I think you know what to do. You do. Putting in, not to teach bad practice, maybe this is smart practice, but putting in placeholder products so that if you are going to do it as a party, how much is the warmer going to be? $49.50. So let's just say, let's say you have to order 10 of them, for example's sake. Go into your workstation now, today, tomorrow, start your party, add 10 items to your cart that are $50. That's going to put your host rewards available, right? So you can go ahead and pick your credit, pick your half price items. The only thing then you will have to do when that warmer goes live, go into your party order, remove, and I always say add your product first and then remove, add your 10 succulents, delete the 10 dummy products that were your placeholders, go to the checkout screen, put in your credit card, and get out. Does that make sense? That's kind of a really good practice too for LTOs. If you ever have them and you plan on, because the biggest thing that people say, consultants say is, I was trying to order them as a party, but by the time I put the host rewards in, it was sold out. So a way around that is to build your party ahead of time, get everything in there as much as you can, get your host rewards, get your half price item, get your perpetual, everything lined up. So the only thing you have to do when you go into it is add your LTO or your succulents, delete the placeholder products, hit checkout and put in the credit card info and submit. It literally takes less than 1 minute if you do it really quick like that. So if you don't plan on doing it as part of a party and you plan on ordering them individually online, like I said, And if you've got multiple people's credit cards to accept, I don't recommend ordering them individually for each person. I fear that it will take too long, and it will be sold out by the time you try to do that. So cool, maybe not cool, but at least if we work on setting the expectation with our customers that we will try our very best to get it for them on the first round, and we don't set the expectation that we will get it for them on the first round, but know that there will always be a second chance. And with the popularity of this warmer, just like Stargaze and Letterboard and other ones before it, I'm pretty sure we will see this thing pop up in the future, probably in a catalog or smashed in between Little Garden and Aloe, probably. So it's going to be a great May 1st. So there are a bunch of things coming in May. So prepare yourself, Cindy, I see you. Prepare yourself with this LTO game. If you have things you need to order for customers, do it in a quick, efficient way. Have everyone PayPal or Facebook you, then by checking out in a party, use PayPal and select pay. Hold on. Select payment for everyone. So that is an option. I don't quote me or don't live by this or die by this, but sometimes in these crazy situations where there's a ton of traffic on the workstation, I've heard that the PayPal has timed out or people have had issues with the PayPal. So not to knock Rachel's awesome suggestion, just be aware of that. And so there's that. Nicole, I actually said then I would bump you, but you're on now after I got done with that announcement. So we will start with you, and then we will get into our super awesome, really cool tips and tricks. And I think Nicole Yates thinks that I'm calling her out and that she's going to have to talk, but I promise you don't. We are going to turn it over to Nicole G, and she's going to talk to us for a few and tell us how she goes about selling over $30,000 in Scentsy per year.
Okay, so mom duties are on pause. It takes 3 times longer to handle a kid with a boot on her foot that can't do anything. So annual sales, I am by no means an expert. This is actually only my second time earning it. However, I didn't always know it was available to me. So I think it's super important to share it because anybody can earn it. Like, you don't have to have a certain title. You don't have to be in Scentsy for a certain amount of time. The second you join, you have the same opportunity as everybody else to earn that. So think about it, and hopefully something will stick out to you and maybe you want to go for it as well. So my journey with annual sales actually started 2 years ago when I got an email in about January or February that said, "Hey, Rockstar, you're really close to earning this award." And I was like, what even is that? Like, I didn't know. It started as a hobby for me. And I really didn't pay attention to a lot of those things. I didn't always have this wonderful upline support that I do now, and I'm very grateful all the time for them. And so I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants, and if I stumbled upon something, I did it or I didn't, and that was that. And I got this email and I'm like, ooh, I need to look into this. Like, how close am I? I didn't know this was a thing. And I was like $8,000 away. Like, I really wasn't that close, but I was like, I'm going to try. Like, there's 3 months. Who says I can't? Right. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, well, there's this many months left and this is how much I need. And I started a pick collage with like, this is the number I need by this date. And I started ticking it off as we got closer, and I missed it by like $1,800, which really stank so bad. But I tried really hard because that's me. I'm type A. I did everything I possibly could without being that car salesman that nobody likes to talk to. And I missed it. And because I missed it by that much, I was like, there is no way I'm ever missing this award. Now I know what it is. And now I'm going to break it down for the whole year. And so that's the first thing I did. I looked at it and said, okay, $30,000 in a year. It's not January to December. It's May 1st to April 30th. So that's the first thing. When you say a year, it's the Scentsy calendar year. Keep that in mind. Then I said, okay, 30,000 divided by 12 months. That gives us 2,500 PRV per month that you need to earn on average to be able to secure this award. So knowing that, and knowing that I being type A, I always try to strive for the 2,000 PRV a month because then I get my extra 5%. That's just something I love to do. I don't like to leave money on the table. I thought, well, I could do that. Like 2,500 is not so bad. If you start with the first month, it makes it much more manageable than 8,000 plus in like the last 2 to 3 months. So I set out for it. That year was plenty of COVID times, but I got a tracker, a very simple tracker that I met one of my very dear friends at Director Boot Camp. Those of you who get to Director and above, you got to get yourself there when COVID's out because you meet your people and learn things you didn't know you could ever learn. So we put together this super easy, super simple annual sales award tracker. And I'm going to quickly show you last year's and then I'll show you the year before. I'm not going to share my screen. I'm just going to hold it up so you can see, guys, it's a simple Word document. It is nothing fancy. It's nothing extravagant. It doesn't like shoot glitter out at you or do anything fancy. Like anybody can do this. And you can even just write it in a notebook. You don't need an actual chart. But this is how it made sense for me to break it down. So I list out every month, May through April, I listed my cumulative PRV. So I knew at that point where I stood total PRV. And then what you do is you subtract what's left, and that tells you how much you need still. And then you divide that by how many months are left. So you know each month, okay, I need to get at least this, because some months you're gonna maybe be a rock star and you're gonna have $3,000 months, $4,000 months, or heck, I shocked the crap out of myself this past year and had a $7,000 month. It happens, okay? It happens. So last year, I set out the very first of the month with this tracker. I'm like, I'm doing this. I had my accountability partner. We kept each other on track. We were cheering each other on each month. Where are you at? How are you doing? You know, what can we do to get that PRV? And guys, I really only just did better and more of what I was already doing. Customer service is so key. Customer service, because I don't mean to sound snarky and I would never intentionally steal your customer, but if you're not taking care of your customer, somebody else will. So you need to take care of your customers. And that can look so many different ways. Do not do more than what your means are, but a simple handwritten thank you note, a text letting them know you're thinking about them. If an LTO comes out, which is another thing that's huge that you can execute big time with achieving this goal, reach out to the people you know will love them. If you have Ariel fans or somebody that loves NFL, you can reach out to them specifically and say, hey, this is coming and I thought of you. They will appreciate you so much because you thought of them. And so you don't have to remember every little thing in your brain. Truth be told, my memory isn't as good as it used to be. However, I do have this little knack for somehow remembering and putting people in places together for what they love and what they've bought and what they didn't like and all of that. And that doesn't come easy for everyone. And it's getting harder for me as my customer base has grown. But write it down, write it on their order form, write something. Maybe they talked about their dog. Maybe they talked about they are really missing a scent and it comes back and bring back my bar, and reach out to them like, oh my gosh, you're never going to guess what came back. Do you remember that time you told me you really loved the scent? So guys, take care of your customers, think about them, build relationships with them, get to know them, and provide really good customer service. Even if that's just like a little thank you sticker on their bag, or just a little handwritten thank you, or just following up with them is huge. And the difference between them coming back to you time and time again and going to somebody else because you didn't take care of them. So customer service is huge. The next thing is your customers, believe it or not, they're not going to necessarily seek you out because they want to order. That doesn't mean they won't. That doesn't mean they're like, oh my gosh, I have to have this, and they're going to reach out to you. But chances are they're not going to check their wax stash as often as you probably want them to. So remind them, hey, it's been a little while. How's your wax stash? Are you needing some more wax? Follow up. So follow up with those customers. Provide good customer service, follow up with them. That is what I was doing more of. I, from day one, have always done handwritten thank yous, but I really made it a little bit more intentional. I started making myself more notes, key things that were important to them, items they may have come to me for at a show, like the child buddy, for instance. I had a specific gentleman who was like, we'll talk when there's a child buddy. So guess what? The second that was on my radar, I'm like, hey, guess what's coming? And he's like a lifer now. He's eventually gonna join my team, and he's ordered many things past that, but he was impressed that I remembered that. Write it on their order form. Keep track of them. Reach out to them. Remind them they need wax. Show them the next best thing. Even if you don't like it, they might. Show them the next best thing. Let them know you're thinking about them. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing to get this annual sales award. And that's what I just started doing a lot more of. Now, since then, LTOs are a huge deal for all of us. Don't be afraid to take out the middleman. And the middleman is your personal website. It's not to say that these customers can't order it for themselves, but honestly, guys, given the choice, they might not, right? Because they don't want to, they're at work and all the things too. And some of us can't get on, and that's okay. But for me, because I'm able, I take on that responsibility, because then I know that every effort's going to be made to get that sale. And that could be the difference between getting to 2,500 that month and not. So LTOs are huge. Again, that falls into following up. That falls into good customer service. If you know somebody loves Ariel, and you're going to want to reach out to them when the Villains warmer comes. And that's kind of where I was at with that. So 2 years ago, I missed it by $1,800. The year before, last year, I earned it like with maybe 11 days to spare before the deadline. And I was like, that was way too close for comfort. So we're going to up our game. So of course we had hypergrowth. We had a COVID kind of on our side with sales and all of that. And it was, people were coming out of the woodwork. So who knows if that'll be the case this year. But I will tell you, I took everything up one more notch, because I was like, I am not missing annual sales. I'm not taking it down to the wire. I'm not tempting fate. I'm getting it. I'm going to get this award. And I had it in my head. I'm not ever missing this award. Guys, you get a bonus. You get a trophy. I'm going to show it to you so you can see what it looks like, because she's pretty. And she's heavy. Do you see this? This beautiful piece of Scentsy. It's gorgeous. You get a certificate. You get a frame to put your certificate in that's equally as gorgeous as your trophy. You get $1,000. You guys, it's amazing, and it's not something I ever want to give up on. So $2,500 a month this year. So again, I realized there was hypergrowth and all of this, but just to kind of break down for you where I was at in comparison, I actually earned annual sales this year in January, like the first couple of days of January. I needed like $65 to start the month. But again, I used this simple tracker. I'm going to show you a blank one. I used a simple tracker. Everybody's going to start the same. Just like the first of every month, we all start out certified no matter where we're at, or essential if we haven't gotten there yet. We all start at 0 the first of every month. The first of every calendar year, we all have 0. We're all working for the same thing. Where is that one? Okay, so just to give you guys an idea, in May, now I realized hypergrowth was already happening. Please keep that in mind. Maybe your PRV doesn't look like this normally, and so this would maybe be huge for you. And that's okay, work up to it. Whatever you're doing now that's good, keep doing it better and bigger and whittle away at it. So in May, my PRV was a little over $3,200. In June, I was at like $3,700. In July, 27. August, I was over 2,000. So I actually missed my mark in August, but because I was over in May, June, and July, it kind of made up for that difference. September over 5,000, October over 7,000, November over almost 3,000, December, again in December, I was below 2,500, but I had had so many months above 2,500 that it cushioned that deficit that I experienced. January, 3,300. And of course I'm at over 40,000 PRV now. So I've definitely reached my goal. I wish I could bank that PRV as a cushion for next year. You can't do that though. But my biggest tips, I would say, without taking up too much more of your time, is get yourself a tracker of some sort, whatever it looks like. It can be something this simple. I'm glad to share it. It's just a simple Word document. It's just the month, the cumulative PRV, and what you needed monthly. I actually edited it then and had the month / the PRV because I wanted to see the actual monthly PRV as well as the cumulative as well as where did I need to go? And of course, give yourself some positive reinforcement, because it's not an easy feat, but everybody can do it. So find what you're doing in your business right now that's working, and do it bigger and do it better. And if you're feeling like you're struggling in one of those areas that's going to make a huge difference and you know it, talk to somebody who's really good at it, because it doesn't come naturally for all of us all the time. I'm not a very good public speaker. I'm like a little bit uncomfortable because I don't know, I'm just not. But I would like to say that I'm a customer service and take care of my customer rock star, because it matters. It matters, because if you're not taking care of your customer, I will be, or Melissa will be, or somebody else will be down the street. They'll be taking care of them. So take care of your customer, whatever your means are to do that. It can be a text, it can be a call, it can be snail mail, it can be, you know, God forbid a parent passes away and you just give them a simple flower arrangement or a little note letting them know you're thinking about them. Simple stuff like that sticks with them, and it's going to keep them coming back to you. And that is what's going to help you continually have your PRV month after month, year after year, and help you to achieve the $2,500 a month to get you on your way to annual sales. I think that's all. I probably said way too much.
No, you. I'm going to ask you though what we all want to know. What did you do in the $7,000 month?
Sure.
And before you tell us, I also, since I post the income disclosure statement with every single YouTube video that we do, every single Zoom, I can say that she said she's over $40,000 in sales for the year. The commission at 30% on that is $12,000. So $12,000 on your sales, that's not including, you know, team bonus, but $12,000 on your sales plus an additional $1,000 for earning the award, for doing something we really love doing. So right. I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, tell us, what did you do? Because that's what people want to know. Not only do we have to have our eye on $2,500 a month in order to earn the award, but how do we get that? How do we get that? So tell us how you got the 7,000.
So it was in October when I had that 7,000. And if I'm being honest, going into October, I was nervous. I didn't have a lot of parties on the books. I didn't have a ton of, we had something launch in October though. I'm trying to think what it was. It wasn't the Harvest collection. I should have looked into that and I didn't, I'm sorry.
Holiday collection launches in October.
What was that?
Doesn't holiday collection launch in October?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was. So that is another thing I always try and execute. I always message prior customers. So I did a lot of that in October. I did a lot of messaging, asking them if they needed to stock up on their holiday wax, if they would like to host their own party. And some people just borrowed catalogs and collected enough for a party, like a $200 order between their friends and family to get their Christmas gifts. Anybody who said they were looking for gifts for teachers or whomever, I was like, okay, well, do you know if you get it to $200, you actually will get $20 and half price item and all of that. And so I kind of upsold them in that with that. I did have an online fundraiser for assistance dog program, which they've done 2 a year for like 3 years now, 2 years now. So I've done several with them and it's super easy. It's right. They do it right online. I don't have to send them any packets. I don't have to do any of that. We do the full website. We collect the orders. I send them the check and all as well. So that happened in that month. But honestly, what I was saying earlier is a lot of what I did for that PRV. I knew going into October that I didn't have much lined up other than the holiday collection. I didn't have much lined up and I'm like, ugh, how the heck am I possibly going to like beat September? September was great with $5,300 and I like to compete with myself. I do get a little bit competitive. That sometimes helps me on the Peloton and sometimes it doesn't, but I knew I didn't have a lot going into it. And so I dug really deep. I looked in every corner, every crevice, every place I hadn't looked into, I looked into, and I sent out text messages. I really stuck with Amy every single Friday. I was doing follow-up Friday which I try to do anyway, but I was really, really diligent about it, of clearing my entire list every Friday. I was doing extra follow-up with people that might not be on Amy, but people that I've been talking to maybe on Facebook messages or regular text messages that I'm not so good at getting into my Amy. So I reached out to them. I was packaging my orders up really nicely and doing mystery bags. People were loving those. So I was doing mystery bags. Those are a big hit. And if I'm being honest, this sounds terrible, but the way the economy was at the time and the way that with the holidays coming up, people really were kind of coming out of the woodwork to order all the things. But I think had I not been staying in their inbox and staying in their text messages and staying connected to them, I don't know that they would have thought of me to message me and say, hey, do you have this? Hey, did you see this? Hey, can you get your hands on this? The gnome from like 2 years ago, I probably could have sold 97,000 more of them this year. I wish you would have had it. So a lot of people would reach out asking for that, and I would kind of redirect them to another warmer. A lot of times, and I see this with my team sometimes, and some of them are really good at this, but if somebody asks you for something that you can't get because it's sold out, back ordered, never coming back ever, whatever, try to talk them into something else. And don't be annoying talking them into something else, but just make a suggestion. If the scent that they really wanted is like a heavy cinnamon scent, and maybe it was cinnamon bear and that's not available, but Christmas cottage is, make that suggestion. And I feel like I did a lot of that in that month of, not losing the sale because it's not available, but redirecting them to, oh, but look, or I can get it for you in the pods. The pods are available. Do you have a minifan? This would be a great addition to your car. So kind of always thinking on my feet in regards to that, I would say helped a lot of these months, to be honest, because if you just say, no, I can't get it for you, and like, that's the end of it, well, then you don't have a sale at all, nothing, not even a bar, nothing. But if you redirect it to something else, then maybe, or if they have 3 bars, I do a lot of this still always. If they're giving you 3 bars, I'm like, well, you may as well get 6, like you get a whole bar free. So yeah, redirecting and upselling definitely played a role in that month. Follow up, good customer service, redirecting, because we had a lot of stuff going out of stock at that point, redirecting to other products.
We also had a ton of momentum in that month, because
We did.
And this is true testament to how these LTOs and pre-orders and limited time and all of these things that come out can give you momentum with your customers, because we had the holiday collection launch. We had NFL pre-orders. Now, even though that doesn't convert to instant PRV, we still had the momentum, the sales momentum and mentality from it. NFL pre-orders. We had the NHL pre-orders. Remember, that was also Bring Back My Buddy. So we had that momentum. Then we had Villains and Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
so
we had a ton.
Monsters Inc. And then what else did I see? Was there anything else? So we had a lot of momentum. So that probably played a part, but that's the reason why I highlight this is because
you could let them pass you by.
Yes. And so having a system to be able to take advantage of these opportunities that arise, which is why having a good follow-up system. And if you don't have a good follow-up system, because come on, do we all really have that good of a follow-up system? That's why Amy is such a powerful app. Remember, it is not up to our customers to remember to reach out to us. It is up to us to reach out to our customers. Most of the time when you do and somebody does need something, don't they say, I've had this wax pack sitting on my desk for 4 weeks, meaning to call you, and I just don't get around to it. So I'm so glad that you called. So, but Nicole, thank you for letting us put you on, put the spotlight on you. And like anything else in any goal you're trying to achieve, it is putting your mind to it. We can all say we can't. And we know that if we say we can't, we won't. because of that mental block. So there's no harm in pushing. And if you fall short, like Nicole said, she fell short by $1,800, but you know what that showed her is that she can make up that $1,800 in the next 12 months. So that is, you know, nothing in this business is, oh, that happens for her, doesn't happen for me. It's all a mindset. So
100%. I agree with you. One last thing I would say and offer is, I think a lot of the times we hear this all the time, whether we say we can or we say we can't, we're right. And it's so true. And I think all the time, and I'm guilty of it also, I talk myself into not doing something because it's easier to not even try and fail than it is to try and fail.
Yep.
But if you're failing forward, you're still winning and you've gained something. So if you want to earn this award, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but hey, it's not for everybody and that's okay. Find yourself a buddy. That's what I did. Like me and the girl I met from Director Bootcamp, that's literally one of my best friends. We still to this day talk every single day. We held each other really accountable because we're like, we're doing this. We're walking the stage together and we didn't get to. That's another thing. You got to walk the stage. We didn't get to. But when you're doing it with a buddy, it's harder to back out of something when somebody else is holding your feet to the fire. So get yourself a buddy.
What's your favorite quote right now, Nicole? And if you need, I will prompt you. But if you do, which you've always done,
you're only going to get what you've already got.
That's right. So strive. Okay. How many of you have an iPhone? By a show of hands. Are we mixed half? All right. So I'm going to help iPhoners right now, but if you have an Android phone, take mental note. This is what you're going to Google about. Oh, hold on. Why am I echoey? Hold on. Who is not muted? I'm just kidding. Okay, so if you have an Android, you're going to have to Google really quickly. Not really quickly, but you can do this after. But if you have an iPhone, I'm going to walk you through a really, really cool tool called text replacement. So pull out your iPhone and go to General, go to Settings, then go to General, then go to Keyboard, and go to Text Replacement. Okay. How many of you it's blank when you go in there? Blank? No, because you use it. So Jamie uses it, Becker uses it. I don't know what yours says. Is there one in there and it's OMW? On my way, because that's the default that iPhone puts in there. Because it's giving you an example of how to use it. So let me tell you how I use it for my Scentsy business. I have in there, so if you were to hit the plus sign, I'm going to make you do a little experiment. Hit the plus sign in the top right corner. In the phrase field, you're going to type Melissa is the coolest. Come on, get pecking. Get pecking. Melissa is the coolest. Do it. Do it. Okay. In the shortcut field underneath that, type in MEL. Okay. Once you're done, save it. And then back out of it and go to a text message. Any text message, you can send it to me if you'd like. If I'm not in your phone, you can just open up a blank message, or you can pick the top person in your, so when you start typing MEL, what happens? Melissa is the coolest automatically populates. Right? So here's how I use it. I have shortcuts in there for address, and it's AD1. So when I type AD1 on anything on my phone, my address populates. I have DIR in there, which is directions to my house. So anytime somebody asks me for directions to my house, all I have to type is DIR, and the entire blurb of how to get to my house. And I live off of a cul-de-sac, and there's a purple Scentsy van in the driveway. It's already populated in there for me. I have AD2, which is my city, state, and zip. The reason why I put AD1 being my street number and my street, and AD2 being my city, state, and zip is because a lot of times those things are separate. Or if somebody asks for my address and they live down the street from me, I don't need to tell them that I live in my city, state, and zip. Make sense? So the other things that I have in there, and you could use this for so many things. I have my email address, which is long, melissa@wicklesstwist.com. When I type MWT into my phone, my email address auto-populates. It doesn't matter if I'm filling out a form on a website that I'm buying something from, or if I'm typing it in a text message with somebody, if I'm typing it in an email, because that text replacement is housed in my phone, anything I do in my phone is, the shortcut is there. You could type a thank you message to a customer for an order, and just your shortcut could be thank. And anytime you type thank into your phone, your paragraph, thank you for their order, will populate straight into that text message or that email. Cool? Cool tip. If you have an Android, look up, what do they call it? It's language and input and text shortcut. I think they don't call it text replacement. Droids don't call it text replacement. They call it something else. But if you type into Google text replacement on an Android, that should give you some steps. Okay, that was one that I didn't want to share my screen for because this is being posted to YouTube and my address is in it. So I didn't want to share that. But the rest of these tips and tricks, I can share my phone to show you them. So bear with me. Here we go. I always have trouble when I'm working on two devices because I see myself twice, or it confuses me, or I don't know how to minimize the thing. See, this happens. This happens all the time. You're sharing your screen. Great. Fantastic. All my red numbers are going to make some of you start twitching. It doesn't bother me, so don't worry about me. Don't worry about my 5,000 emails, although that might explain why sometimes I have a tough time getting to them. Anyhow, and my text messages. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay, let's do an easy one. How to save the catalog, the Scentsy catalog, as a icon on your home screen. Just like when I want to view the catalog, all I had to do was press this button on my home screen, and it takes me straight to the Scentsy catalog. So I always have that super handy right at my fingertips. So how do I do it? Well, you're going to go to your website, which is, let me get a new tab. I am going to go to US. If I scroll all the way down to the very bottom, there is an option for view our catalog. I will hit open. And now see this little down below, this little square with an up arrow? I'm going to hit that and scroll up. And do you see this option that says add to home screen? You click that, and now the Scentsy catalog is on your home screen of your phone. That is, if you have an iPhone, that's how you do it. There will be some other modified way. I apologize, Android users.
Can you share that one more time? I missed it.
Yep. So I went to my website, and then I scrolled all the way down to the very bottom where there is an option to view our catalog. That's also a good thing to know. So if your customers ever say, hey, can I get a copy? Can you send me a link to the catalog? Sure. I will go straight to my website. I go down to view our catalog. And this link up here that I just highlighted is what you would copy. And that's what you would text to them. And it's going to take them directly to the catalog on your personal website. But in this case, what we want to do is open the catalog. And then down at the bottom, there's this box with an arrow. Click that and scroll up. One of the options is add to home screen. So if I add that to home screen, it's going to ask me what I want to call it. I just like to call it the Scentsy catalog. In fact, I think I even name it Spring Summer 21. Add it. There it is. You see it right there on my screen? There it is. Cool? Okay. Fun times. Let's let's see. The next thing I want to show you is, did you know? So a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of people, everybody does something a little bit different or not at all with their photos on their phone. So you can either put your photos in an album based on what they are, you know, like if you want to separate your Scentsy photos from your main photos, because in my case, I don't want to scare you, but I have 44,976 photos on my phone. And sometimes it is really hard to find the Scentsy stuff. So the easiest way to do so, let me find a Scentsy post here. Do you see this heart down here at the very bottom? I like to, what I do, because I don't like picking a photo and moving it to an album because I think that takes a really long time. That's just me. So what I do is I have designated the favorites album on my phone as my Scentsy album. So all I have to do on any image I want in my Scentsy album is hit the heart at the bottom of the picture, because it has to do with Scentsy. And now when I go to my albums and go to my favorites, they are all Scentsy related. Because do you see how each of the photos has a heart? That's because I favorited them in my actual all camera photos. So anytime I need to go find something, it's much easier to just scroll through here, and anything I want to use for my business. Yes, there was Diet Coke in there, but there's a reason. But anytime I want to use something for my business, I can just click on that favorites album, and that is that makes it easy. Okay, Instagram. Let me move to this. Instagram only lets you in your profile put one web address in your profile of your Instagram. So I, before today, had my website to my PWS. Don't be confused by seeing Wickless Twist. All I did was rebrand my gratz.scentsy.us. Okay. That's for another call. That's a little higher level, but technically it takes you to the same place. But this, because you can only put one web address in your profile until now, my web address will take you to something called Linktree. Maybe you've seen this on somebody that you follow on Instagram. Maybe you've seen this when you've clicked the web address in their profile, but it is a way for you to curate a bunch of links and share them via one link that they allow you on your profile. So linktree.com is where I made this. It's free. This is the free template. And so what happens when you click one of these items, Club with Me, it's going to take you directly to the Scentsy Club on my workstation. Okay. What if join Melissa's Insiders group? That's going to take you to my VIP page on my Facebook. Shop is going to take you directly to my PWS. Notice it opened in a party. Key. Get Inspired is going to take you to my Pinterest boards. Do What I Do is going to take you straight to Join Scentsy. Amazon Business Tools, you guys know I've given you this link. It is togetherwescent.com/Amazon. I do not make money off of anything that you buy from this list. I don't monetize my list. I just pull it together so that you guys have tools and resources of anything I've purchased for my business if you're ever interested in maybe getting it for your business. So, but anyway, you can always get to that either through my Linktree on Instagram, or it is in the graphic on the Together We Scent Facebook page. You could find it there. And then stay connected. Here is something so cool. For those of you that use Amy, the app that we always talk about for following up with our customers, there is a contact form in Amy to allow you to get customers' information. It's called the event form, but I linked it to my Instagram because I know that now if I need to get to my form really quickly, I can just go to my Linktree on Instagram. So let's say, for instance, Mary Jane comes to me and she wants to buy 2 of these. 2 Disney. Okay, pretend it's a product that's out of stock, so she can't order it online. She comes to me, said, Melissa, do you have any more of those princess pods? Yes, Mary Jane, I have 2 of them. Mary Jane has never bought from me before. So I want to collect her information and get her into Amy so that I can follow up with her in the future. So Mary Jane is going to, I'm going to say, Mary Jane, go to Instagram, click on that link that's in my profile, scroll all the way down to the bottom and click that stay connected button. That's going to take you to a form. Now, mind you, I'm standing right in front of Mary Jane. That's going to take you to a form. Can you fill that out for me really quickly? She is going to populate this information right into my Amy for me. When she hits submit, fine. I sell her pod. She goes on her merry way. But on the backside, I go into my Amy app and I go to Mary Jane's name that she now added for me. And I say she just bought 2 princess pods from me. And it's going to put her in my to-do list to follow up with her based on the schedule that I have in my settings for following up. Cool? Okay, I told you, I'm going to throw a lot at you, but it's really cool. Okay, so let's get out of here. And that is everything in my link tree. Why do I have some random things sprinkled? And because you don't want your entire link tree to just be about Scentsy. There's more to me than just about Scentsy. And so I started with my Pinterest board, and that's why it says get inspired. Most of it is Scentsy related, but you don't see the word Scentsy in every single one of those lines because that could be a turnoff to somebody that I'm only one-dimensional. The only thing I ever put on social is about Scentsy. So I took Scentsy out of it. You can see that it says Scentsy right here, but these at least give you maybe more of a call to action to click because it doesn't say shop my Scentsy website, join my Scentsy team, fill out my Scentsy form, join my Scentsy VIP page. You see what I mean? It's a little bit more like, what does get inspired mean? And that's going to take you to my Pinterest board where you can get inspired by anything that I have found to be interesting. So, okay. Was there anything else on my phone that I wanted to share? Wait on the other. Andrea, I'm going to have you tell everybody about your awesome little shortcut that's going to be super helpful to everybody.
Well, mine is very little compared to all this.
Stop it, because watch, you're going to get somebody that this is an aha moment for. I want you to type it in the chat just to prove her wrong. Do it for me. Okay, go, Andrea.
So I use an app. It is called Time Buddy, and because I have the worst time with time zones, and so I will go in there. I have it set so it has all of the 4 time zones, and I just go. I click on the date. I click on the time, and it shows exactly the time zones for every single, or the times for every single time zone. So like with our launch, I can go in, put May 1st, and then put at Pacific time, it's going to be 12 o'clock. And then it shows me all the time zones of exactly what time that equates to. So anyway, that's my little tip, because man, I'll tell you, I have a really hard time with time zones. So yeah.
Especially because Scentsy will say sometimes it's at between 9:30 and 10:30 Pacific time. Sometimes it's between 10:30 and 11:30, whatever it is. So that is a super helpful thing. And if for nobody else, I'll say it. See, it wasn't silly, Andrea. All right, we are 5 minutes over. Can I show you one more thing? One more thing. Okay, most of you, many of you in this day and age, we use Venmo, we use PayPal, we use Zelle, we use Cash App, we use Facebook Pay or Apple Pay. There are many ways to get paid from a customer if it isn't being processed directly through your website or your workstation with their credit card at that time, or PayPal at that time. So let's just say in this case where Mary Jane bought those 2 pods for me, but this time she wasn't standing in front of me. I already have them in stock, but I want her to pay me. And she says, I don't have Venmo. I don't have Zelle. I don't use any of these things. Can I just use my credit card and pay you? And you would be like, oh, how am I going to run that? Okay. If you have a Square Up account, Square account, Amber, I know you have that. How many of you have an account? It's free, but you have an account with Square. Okay. And if you don't have one, but you like the functionality of what I'm about to show you, you can join Square for free. It is a payment processing site that, like, I'm sure you've bought something and somebody has had Square, whether it's what I'm sure that you have. So anyway, it's free, other than you get paid the credit card fees, whatever they are when you run a credit card. Okay. Well, you don't have to pay those fees if you run the credit card through your Scentsy workstation, but sometimes we're not in the point of being able to run the credit card on our workstation. So this was a really long-winded way to show you that an option in Square is, somebody doesn't want to pay me via Venmo or anything else, and I branded my link this way. So remember, just kind of like I did in my Instagram profile where it said wicklesstwist.com/IG, I use a program called Rebrandly where it allows me to put any link into it, and then I can brand and have it be whatever I want it to be. But that's because I own the domain wicklesstwist.com. Okay, so if I type in wicklesstwist.com/pay, I have a Square account, but Square now, oh, well, if I could type, that would be great. Hold on. wicklesstwist.com/pay. I branded this. You can do this for free. But what it is when I give somebody, Mary Jane says, I want to pay by credit card. Then I send this link to Mary Jane and say, your total is $1,272. Ha, 1,272. You have to put the decimal point. She can either Google Pay me, or she can give me her information, put in her credit card, and pay this way. It's a way to process credit cards. The fee is minimal. It's comparable to what any processing, credit card processing fees are. What I like about Square is it doesn't charge you a monthly fee to use their service. Many companies that do money processing for us charge a monthly fee. Square does not. The only fee they take out is the credit card fee based on whatever the percentage is based on the total of what you get paid. This is available to you as an online payment in a free Square account if you found that was helpful to you. That's all the tips I'm going to share with you tonight, because I probably overwhelmed you, but at least maybe did you learn one thing or find one thing cool? Yes, text replacement, if nothing else, because the directions in my house, sometimes I type like this much. And so now when I type DIR, it automatically populates. So if for nothing else, text replacement is awesome, and Linktree is awesome, and saving the catalog on your phone home screen is awesome, and Time Buddy is awesome, and I think it's all awesome and super helpful. So you're welcome. Let me take 1 second to look at the chat and just address anything that did come in, because when I talk, I don't look at the chat. Now I'm going to see something that happened that I missed, right? Something funny is going to happen. Great. Awesome. Okay. What did you see that now I can't put the recording on YouTube?
They
What
just
is
want to know about the bird
Just your
search.
birds,
The what?
The bird
your bird
search.
search.
Keeping them
Oh.
off.
I saw your search said scare birds. I was like, what?
Yeah, you want to know why? They're flying in our covered porch and pooping on everything. My new granite, my outdoor kitchen, my mantle.
Melissa,
Everything.
Melissa,
Tell me, an owl. What?
I know. Forget the owl. I took out my
Fishing line.
arborvitaes because of the starling bird crap around my pool. All you have to do is take fishing line.
Fishing line.
It works.
Yeah.
We do not have one bird in our yard. No poop, nothing.
But I have to figure out where to tie it to. That's
Trees.
why. Have you guys ever seen when you go to a public pool and you look up, there's always fishing line going like this over the pool? Yeah. Trust me, I have done extensive research. I could hang CDs. out there, which I'm not going to do, it'd be like disco balls. They don't like shiny things. So I was thinking like I was really going to Griswold this up and like get an owl, a hawk, a vulture, some floating snakes in my pool, some fishing line. Like I'm about to get a BB gun, and I am sorry if that offends anybody, but like I am not having it with bird poop that I now have to clean on a space I haven't even been able to sit in yet. So there. So, okay, I'm going to read through the chat and see. I love that you guys are all talking to me. You know I don't look at the chat really, so I love that you talk about, here I am training you and teaching you things, and don't look at my search. That's what I get when I share my things with you. Where do you go exactly on the website? It is under, oh, I'd have to look. I would have to look and see. Hold on. Let me share this really quickly. No, you know what? I have to log into my Square account, and I don't want to do that on a screen recording. So I will have to get you, I'll have to get that to you. She won't do CDs with snakes in the pool. Okay. Yeah, no, none of it's okay. None of it's okay. It really makes me mad. Use PayPal. Okay, PayPal. Sorry, guys. Yeah, can't wait. Frame. You're going to hold my Peloton feet to the fire. Hey, anybody with a Peloton, we can start a little together. We sent Rising Stars, Sugar Star, and whatever. Everybody that falls under the umbrella, we could do. Hey, we could Zoom and then get on our Pelotons. That'd be fun. Melissa's the coolest. I like that hashtag. That's fine. You can use it. You can keep that shortcut in your phone too. That's fine. Laugh out loud. Scare birds off porch. What are you searching, Melissa? Well, now you know. Good. Somebody's mind was blown, even if the others were making fun of me about my bird search. This is amazing. Okay, was there anything else? Is the workstation thing on your phone an add to home also? Yes. So I have the workstation right on my phone home screen. And so you navigate to the workstation and do the exact same thing. Hit that little rectangle with the up arrow. And you can do that on any website. Any website on an iPhone, you navigate to that page. And if you want it on your home screen, just hit the little rectangle with an up arrow. And down below, it'll say add to home screen. And you can create as many shortcuts as you want. It always blows my mind how people get to their workstation, like by going to their PWS and then hitting consultant login or whatever. And like, there's like 10 different ways to get to it, I suppose, but I just have it saved right on my phone home screen. Yes, it's same as the catalog. Love it. I can't remember the time zones ever. What was it again? Time Buddy. Yes. Thanks. Bird search was to keep them from making a mess on her. Oh, Becker? Yeah. So you knew the answer. Thank you. I finally have the catalog on my phone. Love that. Good. Super helpful. Refer a friend to Square and your friend gets no fees on their first $1,000. You're exactly right. And I'm not going to use this Zoom as a platform to have that happen. So find a buddy and you guys can help each other. I'm not going to refer any of you because I don't want that to anyway. Square user sends a link to a new friend, Square thing. Where did you go exactly on the site? Okay, that I will get you information. Is there a Scentsy Peloton group? Yes, there is. Somebody that's on it, send that to Stacy Campbell. Square up. Thank you, Wendy, for putting that in the chat. My mind was blown. I didn't make fun because I knew you. My mind was blown and I didn't make fun because I knew. You just wait. Oh, I love it. I love that you were mind blown. You just keep that shortcut in your phone. Melissa is the coolest. I had no clue. I thought, okay, awesome. You guys, thank you for staying 15 minutes over. Nicole, thank you for sharing all that you did. You guys rock. Thank you for getting on Tuesday night. If you missed anything, you want to see it again, the recording will be uploaded in a timely fashion, I promise. And it is on togetherwesent.com/YouTube. That's how you can get to any archived recordings. any recordings that we have done for our Tuesday night or our Thursday night calls. And anytime, you don't have to remember the web address for this Zoom, for the Amazon links, for the YouTube channel. They are all in the graphic that is the heading of Together We Scent Facebook group page. Cool? You guys are the best. See you, if not on Thursday night for our additional training. See you Friday on Virtual Cubicle if you can make it with us. We always have a blast, and that is so much fun. So you guys are the best. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Birds or no birds.